From a twisted act of revenge that led a mother to suffocate her own 2-year-old daughter, to a tragic tale of a Texas mother who allegedly smothered her 2 young daughters, these calls will send shivers down your spine.
Can I have the answer, please?
Are you the patient?
Look, my daughter, she's not breathing.
She's not breathing.
No,
She's not breathing at all.
no.
A mom who suffocated her 2-year-old daughter has been jailed for a minimum of 16 years. The heartbroken dad, Paul Hogan, has revealed that he's haunted by a chilling text from his ex-girlfriend, Cody Ann Jackson, sent to him just 2 days before she killed their 2-year-old girl. Sorry, just thought you deserved one last picture and memory of her.
Well, obviously I never got to know Macy, unfortunately, but she, the pictures I've seen, she was a beautiful little girl. She was very healthy, had a whole life in front of her, had a lot of support from her wider family who spent time with her, and she had a whole life in front of her. So, it's very sad that she is not going to get to see it out.
Cody Ann Jackson, who was just 20 years old at the time of the crime, smothered little Macy Hogan after sending the toddler's dad a sick message saying, "Sorry, just thought you deserved one last picture and memory of her." It was a twisted act of revenge against Paul for moving out of the family home. Paul Hogan, now 24 years old, says nothing helps get him over the death of his little girl, and he's turned to alcohol to cope with the grief. He says that Mickey would have been 3 years old now and 4 in March. She would have been going to school soon. Sometimes he thinks about what she would be like now, but he tries to push it in the back of his mind as much as he can. When you lose a child like that, nothing can help you. Paul, who lives in Stoke-on-Trent, has tried to move on and has even met a new woman, but he says his ex's horrific crime and loss of his daughter will always be there in the back of his mind. The murder destroyed his family, leaving him so grief-stricken that he's been unable to hold a job. He recalls the day he found out about Macy's death. "I was at work and the police came and arrested me. That's how I found out. They suspected me as well. They had me in a cell for 8 hours. It was the worst 8 hours of my life."
However, it won't detract from, I don't think that this sentence will fill the gap that Macy's life leaves from Paul and his wider family. The most compelling part from both statements is that Paul, Macy's father, and Gillian, Macy's grandmother, both commented how their lives will now always be different and the gap will never be filled. It's life-changing for everybody who's involved, and it's just an extremely sad situation.
Cody Ann Jackson, who was found guilty of murder, smothered Macy with either a towel or a cloth, causing widespread brain damage that left the toddler not breathing. The jury heard how she left a suicide note to her uncle reading, "I sit here thinking about killing my own daughter and then killing myself. There's nothing more for me or Macy. This life is shit and the world is fucked." After smothering Macy, Cody Ann called emergency services, but her actions seemed calculated.
Can I have the answer, please?
Are you the patient?
Look, my daughter, she's not breathing.
She's not breathing.
No,
She's not breathing at all.
no.
What's the address of the emergency, please? And how old is your daughter?
You,
2 years old.
yeah,
Not breathing at all.
no.
Okay, help is being arranged. You need to stay on the telephone with me and listen very carefully. I'm going to tell you what to do to help, okay? I need you to lie flat on her back on the floor. Can you do that for me now?
Ow!
You need to put you onto the floor for me, okay? I'm going to tell you how to help.
Move. Every time I move, it hurts.
Pardon?
Every time I move, it hurts.
Right, but we need to help your daughter if she's not breathing. You need to lay her flat on her back on the floor for me, please.
She was crying and telling the operator that Macy had stopped breathing and that she had been stabbed in her bedroom. The toddler's body was blocking emergency services from fully opening the door.
Yeah, well, we now know that the 999 call was a complete fraudulent call, and for those that have heard the 999 call, there was a clear direction being given by the controller for CPR to be carried out on Macy. We know that Macy had been dead some time by that point, so it was a complete hoax, a sham, as Judge James referred it to, and it just all goes to show the coldness of Cody Ann's defence.
Body cam footage captured the moment police and paramedics smashed their way into the cold, callous murder mom's home. 2 cops tried to kick down the door, while ambulance staff smashed the glass with an oxygen cylinder. The footage is horrific, as it reveals the killer mom wailing in agony and telling operators that her little girl had stopped breathing. She was sitting cross-legged and giving Macy CPR, all the while trying to trick the operator and police into believing that it was an accident. When emergency services arrived, they discovered Cody with self-inflicted knife wounds. The toddler had hemorrhaging on her face, eyes, and eyelids. Cody was sentenced to life in prison and ordered to serve a minimum of 16 years and 114 days for the horrific killing. Madison McDonald.
Irving police arrested a 30-year-old mother for the murders of her 2 children.
We're trying to figure out the why. And in a situation like this, this is obviously a horrific incident where 2 children were murdered. We may not ever know the why, right? Because there's not going to be a definition or a reason that would ever justify the murder of 2 small children.
The news of a Texas mother, Madison McDonald, who called 911 to confess a murder of her 2 young daughters, Archer Hammond and Lillian Mae McDonald, spread like wildfire across the internet. It all began in Irving, Texas, where Madison McDonald lived with her 2 daughters. On Monday night, McDonald calmly walked into the lobby of the Irving Police Department and called 911. She told the dispatcher that she had killed her 2 daughters, and the police immediately responded to her apartment at the Anthem Apartments on the 700 block of Cowboys Parkway. When the officers arrived, they found the lifeless bodies of Archer Hammond and Lillian Mae McDonald. In a press briefing on Tuesday, Officer Robert Reeves from the Irving Police Department said that McDonald had sedated her daughters, put them to bed, and then smothered them.
What she did tell on the 911 operator was that she did smother her children. Anytime you go out on a scene like this and you witness 2 young children that are deceased, that obviously is a call that stays with you.
McDonald was arrested in the lobby of the police department and charged with 2 counts of capital murder of a person under the age of 10.
Heartbreaking murder investigation playing out now in Irving. Police say a woman has confessed to killing her 2 young daughters.
McDonald has been charged with capital murder.
The news of the tragedy quickly spread across social media, and people were left wondering what could have led Madison McDonald to commit such a heinous act. The Irving Police Department launched an investigation into the case, and more details slowly began to emerge. According to the arrest affidavit, McDonald told the authorities that her children were being abused and she would do anything to protect them, including eliminating them. However, the exact nature of the abuse remains unclear.
In a situation like this, this is obviously a horrific incident where 2 children were murdered. We may not ever know the why, right? Because there's not going to be a definition or a reason that would ever justify the murder of 2 small children.
The Child Protective Services, or CPS, is also investigating the case, as they had previous involvements with the family, although they did not specify what that involvement was. The tragedy had left the community in shock, and people are struggling to come to terms with what happened. Officer Robert Reeves said in a statement,
Anytime you go out on a scene like this and you witness 2 young children that are deceased, that obviously is a call that stays with you.
The tragedy has sparked a conversation about the importance of mental health resources and support for parents, as Officer Robert Reeves said in a statement.
What we saw during the pandemic of COVID-19 was that domestic violence and cases at home were going on the rise, right? So all I can say is, all I can keep encouraging people is, if you know someone is going through a situation, don't choose to not get involved. Choose to be that advocate for that victim.
Jennifer Bella.
Deacon County 911, stress the emergency.
Yes, my daughter. I'm so sorry, but we need an ambulance.
You said you just, ma'am, you said you just shot your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where did you shoot her?
In the back.
A tragic incident in which a Georgia mother shot her 2-year-old daughter to death resulted in a 15-year prison sentence for the woman. Jennifer Bella entered a guilty but mentally ill plea in court and was sentenced by Judge Ken Wayne Jr. in Newton County Superior Court. She will serve 15 years in prison without the possibility of parole, followed by lifetime probation. Bella called authorities in August 2018, telling them that she had shot her daughter, Natalia Bella.
Yes, my daughter. I'm so sorry, but we need an ambulance.
You said you just, ma'am, you said you just shot your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the address?
65 Brown Pasture Run, Oxford, Georgia.
Okay. Ma'am, is she awake?
She's
Ma'am?
gasping. Yeah.
Okay, where did you shoot her?
In the back.
Okay, what was going on? What happened?
I don't know. I think there's something wrong with me, and I don't understand. I just lost it. I don't know. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, did you put your ear next to her mouth, ma'am?
For some reason.
Okay, we need to use 2 fingers, your index finger and your middle finger, and we need to do CPR on her, okay? Are you laying her flat on her back on the floor? We have help on the way out there. You said the door was unlocked though, right? Hello?
Deputies arrived at the home in Oxford to find the toddler dead from multiple gunshot wounds. Bella's defense attorney explained that in the weeks before the shooting, the Newton County woman was receiving mental health treatment. At her first court appearance, she wore a green suicide prevention outfit. Acting District Attorney Randy McGinley released a statement indicating that multiple mental health experts evaluated Bella, all of whom concluded that she was suffering from a serious mental illness. Some were even prepared to support a verdict of not guilty by reason of insanity. However, a plea deal was negotiated between prosecutors and defense attorneys, leading to Bella's guilty plea and prison sentence.
Judge, this case, the incident date is in August of last year. The arraignment has been delayed in large part because of Ms. Zahn and I have been working through some mental health issues with regard to Ms. Bella. We are still working on those issues. Both of us have a report at this time, and there's some issues that we still would be working on, and we'll let the court know about that. But the delay has not been any part of anybody's fault other than we're just trying to get these issues together before arraignment. Also, the court has notified the state and defense that the court, through some church relationships, may have spoken to someone about this case before the court knew that it was assigned. And the
court had not spoken to anybody.
Right. The court had spoken to somebody who had spoken to Ms. Bella's family. I've let Ms. Bella know about that, and she has no objection, and we will not be filing a recusal motion.
Fair to say no objection?
No, Judge.
I'll put the letter that I've written to counsel in the record.
Yes, sir.
McGinley explained that this outcome was better than a not guilty by reasons of insanity verdict, as Bella could have been released from a mental hospital if her condition improved. Instead, the plea deal guarantees prison time for Bella, while also ensuring that she will receive mental health treatment while in custody. The tragic events leading to Bella's sentence began when she called 911 to report the shooting of her daughter.
Okay, is she laying flat on her back?
She's on her side.
She's on her side?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we do have help on the way out there. How old is she?
2.
How old?
2.
She's 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's the gun?
Right beside me.
Okay, we do have help on the way out there. Are you guys the only one there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to unlock the door for the paramedics?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you lay your daughter flat on her back?
Okay. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry.
Is she conscious, ma'am?
My eyes are open.
Her eyes are open?
Yeah.
Can you tell if she's still breathing?
Like she's gasping. It's like a gas for air.
Okay. Can you put anything over the wound? Okay, how long ago did this happen?
5 minutes. 10 minutes.
5 minutes ago? Okay. Okay. Can you tell if she's breathing? Can you put your ear next to her mouth and see if she's breathing right now? The paramedics have been on the way out there, but we need to go ahead and try to help her as much as we can before they get there.
I don't think she's breathing.
The 911 recording revealed Bella telling the dispatcher that she had shot Natalia in the back. She expressed remorse and apologized, stating that she didn't know what was wrong with her and that she had lost control.
What's going on? What's going on?
I'm so sorry. I deserve better help for them. I deserve it.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
I'm sorry, my poor baby.
Ma'am?
Oh my God.
Ma'am, we need to do CPR on her, okay? Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, we need to do CPR on her, okay? Ma'am? Okay, she laying flat on her back?
Yes.
Okay. Put your hand on her chin and the other hand on her forehead and tilt her neck back. tilt her head back. Okay, did you put your ear next to her mouth, ma'am? Okay, we need to use 2 fingers, and we need to do CPR on her, okay? We need to start. Okay, count out loud, I'll count with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, we have to count and do it, okay?
Bella faced several charges, including murder, aggravated assault, family violence, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and pointing a pistol at another. Her defense attorney emphasized that Bella had been seeking and receiving treatment for her mental health issues in weeks leading up to the shooting. The case highlights the importance of mental health treatment and support for individuals struggling with mental illness. Bella's sentence reflects the severity of her actions, while also recognizing the need for mental health treatment during her incarceration.